So recently I've been seeing a lot of comments as well from people that are brand new to pen testing in this space, which I think is really cool. It's always nice when can bring people into the security world, right? I want to elevate your skill set in cybersecurity no matter where you are, whether complete beginner, more intermediate, even higher level, right? We can all learn stuff from each other here. And one thing that I've been seeing recently quite a bit is people that are completely new and they want to get into cybersecurity. They just don't really know how. And I know I made a lot of videos kind of similar to this, but I'm going to take the angle of explaining to you guys, if I had to start over in this field and I want to be a pen tester, how I would go about doing it, because it is a bit different than how I actually got there in practice. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, we'll get right into it. What's up, guys? Ryan from Elevate Cyber here. Now, what approach would I take if I had to start over? I mean, really, I think that most certainly the 4-year college route is pretty unnecessary. That is the route I took. I did go the 4-year college route. Fortunately for me, my college did have a security program that I was able to do, security and risk analysis. So I did that, and I was able to, after a couple years working in IT operations, transition into application security, web app security as a web app pen tester, and I've been doing similar roles ever since. And really, the result of the 4-year college thing, even though I did get a job, I didn't study some useless degree, thankfully, right? But it did leave me with a ton of debt. I'm talking, I won't say exactly how much, but I'll just say that there was a time where I had 6 figures worth of student loans. So that was pretty insane. Now, fortunately for me, it's all paid off now, but that was very, very difficult. And I had to get some help along the way. Luckily, I had some people in the family that would help me out with that. But that would have been a pretty bad decision that I would have been paying for years and years and years, when I could have got into this field most definitely without having to endure that. Now, if you do go the normal college route, go to a smaller college. I mean, I went to Penn State, a big college. I know everyone that goes to Penn State loves Penn State, but I'll be the first to tell you, I wouldn't recommend it for anyone, honestly. It's so overpriced. It's basically a scam, the amount that they charge you to go there. So if you are thinking about going the more traditional university route, try to find a college that is smaller. Now, if you do that, you're probably, I would say 99% chance they won't have a good security program. Don't worry about majoring in security anything, right? Major in either, I don't know, like MIS, something that you could get into IT with, right? Or major in computer science. Those would be the best routes to eventually get to this field. Now, what I would truly recommend, what I would do for myself if I had to start completely from zero, is I would not even go the college route, believe it or not. I talked to my friend Josh from Developer Direction, who is a software developer, and he says the exact same thing when it comes to if you want to become a programmer, right? You want to become a coder. He doesn't even recommend people to go to college for that, right? He's actually training people actively how to go from zero to getting their first developer job without any college degree whatsoever. And, we talk pretty regularly, and we've come to the determination, most definitely, that even in this field, in security, it's pretty similar, right? If you have the skill set and you have, some ways to prove that you have the skill set, right? You'll be able to find a position in security. I know people that have gotten security jobs without any college degree. It's certainly possible. You can save yourself all the debt, most certainly, right? And let's be honest, right? For those of you who have went through college and got a security-related degree, I'm sure you would be able to resonate with the fact that what you were learning wasn't even really that relevant to what you do today, right? I mean, same thing for computer science with programming, right? I mean, you don't even really code, but maybe 5% of the time. The other times you're just doing math and building compilers and doing crazy things that you wouldn't even be doing in practice, right? So that's always going to be the problem with I talked about this in another video, so I don't want to spend too long on it, but that's kind of the issue when it comes to the college degrees, right? Is they're always going to be behind. Now, if you're studying like an engineering discipline, you want to be a doctor or something like that, well, the anatomy and, the engineering principles hasn't changed much in the last 100 years, whereas the tech field has rapidly changed even in the last 5 years, right? And so it's always going to be too far behind when compared to self-learning, going the route of, maybe taking some courses, certifications, things like that. You're going to be a lot more up to date. Now, if you are like a real go-getter type of person, I would say, yeah, don't worry about going to college. Self-learn the stuff, practice with CTFs and things like that, and go for the OSCP. Get the OSCP. And if you're both hungry to learn and you're very active on learning on your own and you have OSCP, you will get a job in this field. I guarantee you that. Now, a lot of people say, the OSCP alone is not enough to get a job. I mean, yeah, I guess so, right? If all you have is OSCP, but you don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right attitude, then yeah, I mean, you might not be able to find a job even still, right? But if you are someone that is a really go-getter type of person, you're a self-learner, you enjoy this stuff, you have a inclination towards it, right? Then if you have the OSCP, you're going to be able to get a job in this field for sure. And so that would be the route if you want to go a little bit more aggressive, right? Now, if you don't want to go for OSCP, then, there are other ways. I would say that if you're self-learning on your own, have a blog, have a presence on Twitter as well. That's something I need to do better about is the Twitter part. Security Twitter is pretty big, right? You can make a name for yourself there. People know who you are. That helps out a lot as well. Contribute to the security community. Like I'm making these videos. That's something that I love to do, and that's how I try to give back to the community. But that wouldn't really necessarily net me a job per se, but that's going to give me a lot of experience, right? Teaching, when you teach something, it's a really great way to solidify your knowledge of whatever it is you're learning, most definitely. And when it comes to actually getting the job, right? What my friend Josh does from Developer Direction, he has his clients, create programs, put it on their GitHub. And that's the advantage of programming, right? You can actually create stuff that you build. You don't need a job to build stuff with code, right? That's a nice advantage. You can showcase that. Now, of course, we don't really have that same way to showcase our skill set. But there's other things. This is where you got to kind of get creative here if you want to go the self-learning route. Personally, for me, if I had to start all over, I would just go for the OSCP, just get the certification. I mean, you could always get other certifications, right? Like maybe some of the eLearn ones. I know they changed their model now to where you have to pay the subscription service just to get any of their certs nowadays. But that is another option if you want to go a little bit, quote unquote, less risky, slightly less difficult, bit easier barrier to entry, shall we say. But you can get creative, right? You could, if you love bug bounties, you can just start really developing your skill set there, making a name for yourself, having a blog, having a Twitter, right? And if you're finding, you're getting paid all this money for bug bounties, other companies are going to see that. And that's a great way to showcase, because that's the biggest thing that you have to be able to convey to an employer. You have to be able to prove that you know what you know. Now, traditionally, that's what college has been for, right? Like, okay, this guy got this degree, he has a level of skill. Now, that's very debatable nowadays, right? I know a lot of people that went through computer science that don't know how to code, like at all. Like, they have no idea how to program. And similarly, there's a lot of people that go through the security programs and they don't know anything about security, right? But the piece of paper does help in their mind solidify that. So you just got to find a way to showcase to an employer that you know what you know. So, like I said, with Josh from the Developer Direction, his clients, the way they do that is by having a bunch of code that they wrote, projects they made on their GitHub. For a security guy like us, maybe it's getting OSCP and eLearn cert, having success in the bug bounty sphere, having a blog. That's like something anyone can do, right? The Twitter presence thing, maybe that's a little bit more difficult for some people, but anyone can have a blog, right? You can have a blog where you blog about stuff, CTFs you've done. Great way to showcase, amazing way to showcase that you know what you know. I would say also you could If you have some friends that are developers, I did this in college, right? I had friends that were developers. I would offer a free pen testing service. And I put that on my resume that I did that because that was a good experience to start learning some of the security skill set, getting hands-on with the practice, right? Get experience without having a job, right? That's what I'm really trying to convey here. Self-learn, get experience, and showcase that experience on your resume. Showcase it on your blog. Because you just got to be able to prove to people that you know this stuff, right? And that's going to help you get your foot in the door. Then when you get in the interview, that's a whole nother beast, right? But you get the interview skills down and you can really convey that you know what you know verbally. You're going to be good to go. So there's so many different paths to get here, really. I would just go the OSCP path probably and just be aggressive about self-learning stuff because the stuff's really cool anyways. That's way more fun than college. What you learn in college is so boring. It's so like dated and boring. It's fun to learn the current stuff, right? So that's what I would highly recommend. And yeah, if you want to get started, right, going down that OSCP route, check out this playlist on screen right now. It's called What You Need to Know for OSCP. And I'll see you guys right over in those videos. Thanks for watching.